to welcome you, Professor Christopher Adeji. Please let's give a round of applause.
Thank you very much. Lecturer, we call them lecturer to that time. Then he said, you can take office. After all, this is what you have your PhD on. And then I thought that there was a meeting of organic agriculture people, and I went there and we had a meeting. So we had our first conference. That's year 2005 at FUNAB. And that's where we started. And our team, organic agriculture practitioners or professionals in tertiary institution, came up from. And our own focus has been research, and then leaving it for people to take it out. Now my job today is that we have opportunities that we go out to interact with people. As I come this afternoon, I interact with you. One thing is that if I'm going to follow what I write here, all the time that is remaining today may not take us to finish it. So as we are interacting, as we are going on, you will be asking me questions, I will be answering them. And that way, through that interaction, you'll be knowing more of what is practically applicable to you as practitioners, as revolutionists. And I believe that organic agriculture is going to really come up. Thank you for inviting me for this session. I want to appreciate AgriFuse and the sponsors, everyone, for it's my pleasure to have opportunity to interact with you. People presently now, there are meetings that are going on. They were calling me. I told them I am in a training, and they are happy about it because this is an opportunity to bring those things that we have in our chairs, bring it to the practical, and actually share with you. How many of us don't understand English and agriculture? We are pretty organic agriculture. If I'm to talk about organic agriculture, I need to start from basics. That is aspect of advocacy. Thank God, I believe that yesterday he would have done a lot of advocacy. It is when I sell what I have to you and you buy it, that is when I succeed. And when you have got this kind of spirit, the kind of disposition I have towards it, that's when you will practice it. And when that has happened, that's when we have the revolution we are talking about. There are a lot of misconceptions about organic agriculture, as well as about many other things. Let me take, for example, I was hearing the question the other time that he said that organic agriculture cannot be commercialized. When we look at organic agriculture, I remember at Coventry University when I went for training in 2007, the question was, in Nigeria, were we practicing organic agriculture? And the answer I gave, yes. Then, the professor now took time to explain to us what we call organic agriculture by default. And then, organic agriculture by neglect. Well, is it neglect really? When we look at it, we say, is it because we just neglect, we didn't do what we're supposed to do? No, it's just because that's the level of agriculture at that time. Our parents, father, grandfather, mother, grandmother, what they were practicing was organic agriculture. They may not understand the languages we are using and all that today, but what they were actually doing was organic agriculture, and that is the reason why they grow older, far older than us. All the things that we put into our body now that eventually it is grace of God that help us to overcome them, they didn't put that into their bodies. All the chemicals, everything, everywhere, pollution everywhere, they were not experiencing. That's why they were in very good health. But we are saying that even if the whole world will not take back to it and take this organic agriculture, which is the best for us, even if they will not take it, at least some of us can take it. People who have understanding of what it means and want to actually benefit from it, they can take it. That is exactly what we are saying. You can commercialize agriculture, organic agriculture. That is the reason, because we have different kinds of innovations coming up now. I saw the other time play of all these bag farming. It's using bag and all that. Inside that bag, you may be using soybeans. Inside bag, you may be using soil. The soil as it is. So, in fact, you could do the one that they call hydroponic. That you just have the solution there, you plant there, and all that. But that will feed the human population. The answer is no. You want to feed the population that is on the increase day by day, and at least make sure that a substantial proportion actually have good food to eat. Food security is not just even about the food being available. It is also about the food being good for consumption. The food giving you good health. That's all it's about. And so, at least we can make our own contribution to make sure that good proportion has that kind of food. That's part of what we call food security. Now, for the question why you need to go organic, maybe as an answer, but I'll still go through some of them, because for emphasis, why go organic? Why do you go organic? Number one, when you know the principles, you will like to buy into it. Number two, when you know the benefits, and you can appropriate it to yourself. And then number three, you know the component. You find out that it is not so difficult for you to practice. It's something you can achieve, something you can do. That's what we want to talk about here. What are the principles? One of our presenters, maybe two, maybe three, would have mentioned that particular body. That is the international body for organic agriculture all over the world. Now, in every country where organic agriculture has become well established, they have their standards. UK has its own standard, US has its own standard. The standard of UK anyway, because we are pro UK, actually goes a little bit more towards our own. For example, Americans don't see anything wrong with genetically modified foods. So they involve genetically modified foods we call GMO foods, where they use organisms that they have modified their genes, that they can do something, they can behave in some ways and others, animals or plants that the fruit used to be the size of my head, but is now the size of my head because of the modification. So, but UK we say no, never. We don't want that. And Nigeria also don't want that. Don't want it. So, that body is the umbrella body for everybody. America has its own. Like we mentioned Kenya the other time, they have their own. And of course, because of the differences in climates, there are modifications that we use into our practices that will help us such that we take advantage of what we have. And that's why another aspect of organic agriculture came up that we call ecological farming or ecological agriculture, in which what adapts to your environment is what you focus on. Like now, you can just focus on oil palm because we are growing oil palm here. And you make sure that all your palm oil that you produce is organic. And of course, organic produce, not just for us here, and bíi mẹ́fà mo kó sílé inú ọgbà mi kò sí kẹ́míkà gbọ́dọ̀ wọ́n ní ọgbà mi o because what I preach I must practice kẹ́míkà gbọ́dọ̀ wọ́n ní ọgbà mi ẹ̀fọn máa ń jẹ mí o ṣùgbọ́n ẹ̀fọn tó bá jẹ mí ó kàn jẹ mí ni kò ní mú màlẹ́ríà wá so bí nílò àwọn oògùn yẹn ní nílò wọn àwọn adìyẹ yẹn wọ́n máa jẹ oúnjẹ tí ó wà organic lára ìdílé bẹ́ẹ̀ and they grow up organically and I don't need to go and buy again I take care of myself here ẹ̀fọ́ awùbẹ̀ àpàjẹ àwọn náà jẹ everybody will enjoy ourselves it's the principle of organic agriculture now you can buy thousands upon thousands of naira and breed for what? For commercial purpose. They are very rugged. They are very rugged. So what you go into what you know that you can handle, what you know you can actually manage very well. I will not go and buy celery and go and buy kiwi and say I want to do organic agriculture with kiwi. What not do I know about it? But mo mọ̀ nípa tẹ̀tẹ̀, mo mọ̀ nípa ṣọkọ mi gbọ́dọ̀ wà organic. I hope I'm communicating. So when you know what you want to do and know what adapts to your situation, you will be doing what we call sustainable agriculture. Sustainable what? Agriculture. So that sustainable agriculture là ń pè ní organic agriculture. So modification là ń pè ní ecological agriculture. And we say it is sustainable because a lo àwọn ọ̀nà àtọgbọ́n tó fi ṣe wípé kì í ṣe pé ká dá business yẹn lẹ̀ lẹ́yìn kó bá di oṣù mẹ́ta síbi tá a wà kí gbogbo ẹ̀ ti forí rodò lọ fún yàrá báwọn náà ti wá sọ. Business yìí ò ní jẹ́ báyìí lágbára lọ. So principle of fairness ṣé ẹni nígbà táwọn alápàtà wọn bá gbé màálù níjọ́ kan mo rí màálù ó di màálù dá wọ́n tẹ̀ lọ orí ẹ̀gbọ́n náà ohun ẹ̀ báyìí wọ́n gbé ẹsẹ̀ wọ́n lọ gbogbo ẹ̀ wọ́n gbé sínú búùtù wọ́n padé wọ́n bá ti wá dé ibi láti ká wọ́n wá tún bẹ̀ ó fi ìyà jẹ ẹ̀dá ọ̀gá ní agriculture ò fẹ́ bẹ́ẹ̀ even though it's animal even though you want to eat it you should still treat it fairly in the farm nígbà tí ẹ bá kó koríko jọba ìjẹ sọnà sí sínú gbú àìmọye ìwòlò ẹni pa àìmọye àwọn kòkòrò tó ṣe ara ilẹ̀ lóore tẹ̀sí pàtó wọn jẹ́ báwọn àgbẹ̀ ṣe nìyẹn ní under conventional ṣùgbọ́n ní under organic agriculture àwọn òṣè múra wa ní níwọ̀n tó wọ̀n sí wọ́n ti ní organic agriculture kiri nìyẹn ṣé ẹ rí àwọn kòkòrò tí àwa rí gẹ́gẹ́ bí ọ̀tá rẹ̀ àwọn náà ní ìfura ayé wọn ni wọ́n di ayé tiwọn ni àwọn náà ń ṣe tiwọn ni àwa náà ń ṣe tiwa àgbọ́dọ̀ fààyè káfà àkókò sílẹ̀ fúnra wọn that's the principle of fairness the principle of care ẹ̀wọ̀n èlòmí wọ́n á lo nígbà wọn ní kejì wọn báyìí wọ́n á lò bí omi òjò wọ́n á lò bí omi òjò rárá a ò gbé àti ilẹ̀ wa àgbọ̀dọ̀ lò bí omi òjò pé kí ló kàn lóko ẹ̀kọ́ kó má ṣe é lò lọ́la kó jà àtúntò mi ní nǹkan tí mo wá lé ní mo fẹ́ àgbọ̀dọ̀ lò lẹ̀ wa bẹ́ẹ̀ àgbọ̀dọ̀ lò ẹran ọ̀sìn wa bẹ́ẹ̀ gbogbo nǹkan tá a ní àgbọ̀dọ̀ make sure wípé à ń ké àfọmọ́ so like today now focusing on caring for the soil you that your animal person there you care for the animal in fact a ní project ẹ̀mí níbẹ̀ yẹn mo sọ fún àti wàlẹ́ ní èrè níbẹ̀ yẹn our first point in fact maybe I should address a little bit directly or indirectly ìjọba náà support wa lórí project náà ṣe níbẹ̀ yẹn ìjọba tún tẹ́ fún ìlú fún wa ló ta fi ṣe project mi àti lọ ṣe pápá mẹ́ in fact níjọ́ tí wọ́n ṣe pápá yẹn tá a ṣe pápá yẹn láti mọ kí ni problem àbí challenges àwọn àgbẹ̀ ẹlẹ́ja wọ́n lè tó sọ̀rọ̀ nípa marketing mo sọ pé mo lóòótọ́ gba máàkì tó gba máàkì wọn mo ní because marketing is a major problem when they are talking of ló gbọ́dọ̀ ṣe kí ni o ṣègbè. Everything has its own use. And our value chain is very important. When you come around and say, oh, how do I feed my fish? Oh, I can use beauty dry weight or beauty grade this thing. I can use it to produce lava. And you use an insect to produce that lava. And the lava comes out, and then we take care of it. We use it to make feed for the fish. And the fish will be feeding on good protein and will be growing. But nǹkan jáde lára ibi oúnjẹ tá a gbé fún wọn yẹn à ń pè ní frass. That frass, somebody else is using it to do experiment, and it's coming up with a good fertilizer from it. That's value added. Is that not so? So everything in the farm, you are adding value, you are adding value, you are adding value. I was saying that the government are also indirectly assisting and being part of it. I talked about that. That there is, I don't know, Satima or whatever they have. Come back to talk about Satima. Let me talk about the reason. Come up to sure. No, don't go down. Go back up to the principles. Just the principles there. Health. You take care of health. A lot of what do you call it, heavy metals are over there. Fly around, moving around, being recycled and recycled, and they are killing you. We talk of cancer, it will be your body. And what those things, those are the things that are causing it. And you eat good food. What's the third one there? The fourth one there? Ecology. I as a person, that's why the professor said this is what you work on. At my PhD level, I was looking at some. In fact, the first day myself, I saw those organisms. I said, I don't know, they are microscopic. Yes. If you see the features of their bodies, as small as they are, I want to know only between you have to jáde tell them about it, tell them what you have to see. As microscopic, in fact, tell variety, where you are working, be only, tabi, be only, our insects, very, very small, we call them mites. And they are the ones that are helping us to do this decomposition with bacteria and not the rest. They are the ones helping us to do it. Now, like I said the other time, if you know it, if there is what is called food web, where one depends on the other. If you take away one in that shape, it will affect the whole shape. So we have to think about ecological biodiversity, such that gbogbo àwọn ọ̀pọ̀tọ́lọ̀ dájú ní kálukú wọn wà represented. Those are the principles. You cannot move forward. So, as talk about whether organic agriculture is being practiced before or not, I said it's organic agriculture by what? By default. That's what our parents were practicing. But now, as we see the environment, things changing, climate change, pollution, all the rest and all the rest, we need to regulate. There is need for regulation. That's where certification came in. That's why we have certified organic agriculture. In certified organic agriculture, there are production standards that guide whatever the farmers do. We have that standard in every step and every aspect of our production. What we are concentrating on today is what we use even in the conventional. We use them also in the organic agriculture. But there are some rules and regulations that guide our use of those things in organic agriculture. Okay? Move forward. Yes. Now, when we look at conventional agriculture, like sometimes when people will challenge me, they will say, are you thinking that this is organic agriculture you are blah, 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 all about, that can it feed everybody? I say, I'm not saying that organic agriculture can feed everybody, but at least it will feed some of us. Is that not true? Our children are feeding our premium, our food and the conventional food, which one is costly? What should be your answer? Conventional is more costly. Conventional food is more costly. I hope you are getting it. It's not the issue of you get to market, one way or that in 50 naira, one way conventional and the 30 naira. 30 naira, 20 naira extra. I'm not sweet. I'm not too bad. So organic yellow is cheaper. The cheaper one. Very well, don't go tell anybody about organic agriculture. These are points that you use to tell the person that this system that I am subscribing to is the best for you and for everybody. Next slide. Benefits of organic agriculture. You want to show a lot of what these benefits to us. Yes, can we just, in an interactive, we just mention some of the benefits? Exactly. Yes, give to somebody else here. Yes. Yes.
Doctor is always eco-friendly.
Eco-friendly. Eco-friendly. Let us preserve the ecosystem. And of course, when the ecosystem is not preserved, we have the problem of climate change. Longevity, yes. Yes, because we have students, we have longevity, yes. It's pocket friendly. Thank you very much. Yeah.
It makes me feel it helps health. I don't fall sick, and even when I fall sick, it doesn't weigh me down like that. I haven't taken medication in so many years. I don't know the last time I took paracetamol. When I'm having a headache, I just take cucumber, I take water, and I sleep. So all those things help. And also organic agriculture is what I practice on my farm.
It increases your resistance to it increases greater employment opportunity also. Yes. It also there is no risk of pesticide contamination, the environment and all that, efficient resource management, and of course healthier foodness. Yes. Improved water management, increased productivity compared to traditional farming, farm system stability, and reduce risk through cropping, yes. Exactly, self-activity, yes, and so on and so forth. So many of them that you can just talk about, that you can just propose at any time when you are advocating for organic agriculture. And of course, health, number one, taste, environmental friendliness, animal friendliness, and socio-economic factor. In fact, even the feeling that they need the organic organic very good. So that's what I ask you now. Will you go organic? Yeah. Are you going organic? Yeah. Will you tell that to go organic? Yeah. Then that happens, then I've achieved my purpose. And let's go organic. Organic is the best for us. Now, you see organic. Yes, you can start it little. You can expand a little more and you can go commercial. Amen? Go to number 2. The teacher is also a pastor. When I say I decided to just say soil management, not saying soil management, soil fertility management now, because soil fertility is an aspect when it comes to soil management. Though some people understand it that soil fertility has the physical aspect and has the biological aspect and has the chemical aspect. But most of the time, people only look at soil fertility in terms of nutrients being made available for crop, so that the crop is growing lush, green, is growing big, and is giving us good yield. But beyond that, the soil itself, maintaining its integrity, its properties improved, and sustained. That is the aim. And of course, the soil has physical aspect, it has chemical aspect, and all other aspects like that. So, under this soil management, mo dẹ̀ débẹ̀ ohun yẹn ràn mọ́ o pọ̀ sí mo kàn ń tutù ní ṣá á ó dàbí pé mo wà nínú mo ní wa ohun ló ń ràn báyìí tí mo ní tutù bọ̀ níbí báyìí tóun bá ń rà á máa làágùn ni because we are in the tropical. Now kí nìyẹn ní í ṣe pẹ̀lú ilẹ̀ wa ó affect ilẹ̀ wa ó affect ilẹ̀ wa. Number one, because of the high rainfall, because of the hot temperature, our soils weather easily, and so we have highly weathered soil. Ṣé bẹ́ẹ̀ni tó ti ṣẹlẹ̀ yẹn ó mú kí àwọn ilé odò tó wà nínú ilẹ̀ wa ó jẹ́ kí wọ́n máa ní iye lórí bíi ti tàwọn ilẹ̀ temperate region àwọn ilẹ̀ ìlú òyìnbó lókè lọ́hùn wọ̀nyẹn àti nísàlẹ̀ lọ́hùn wá kí wọ́n ní ilé odò wa tẹ́wọ́n kan rí lórí ibi díẹ̀ lẹ ti rí eléyìí tó dáa ilé tàbí ìṣàmù irú eléyìí tàbí ṣèkùkù orin ibi díẹ̀ láti rí wọn wọ́pọ̀ àwọn ilé ìta ní àwọn ṣákóṣákó ni wọ́n àwọn yẹn wọ́n rárá gba nutrient sí tí àwọn plant wá nídìí yẹn sótótó bá dẹ̀ ti rọ̀ báyìí bẹ́ẹ̀ ni gan àdé nutrient yẹn bẹ́ẹ̀ ti ẹ̀fí fertilizer sílẹ̀ òjò yẹn á tún ṣàn án lọ ni á tún ṣàn án dànù ìgbà mí yẹn pé ilẹ̀ wa máa wà sáńdì gan àtẹ́bá tí wo àwọn sáǹdì àtàwọn tó tóbi díẹ̀ wọ́n á fẹ́ wà transparent so cut la máa ń pè wọ́n they don't have any nutritional value for our plants so that's the problem. Another thing ni wípé ẹni bá ṣe jókòó bí nìsín some of us lè máa làágùn díẹ̀ o àdúgbò parọ́ bá a ṣe ń làágùn yẹn nǹkan tó ṣẹlẹ̀ ní wípé iṣẹ́ ń ṣe nínú ara wa because of the high temperature so what we call bioactivity biological activity ó take place nínú àtúntàdé máa ń wá lọ́dún máa kàn dẹ̀ lóbi òní parí máa tún padà dé but bí kò rí bẹ́ẹ̀ o kò rí bẹ́ẹ̀ àtọ̀ ni kíákẹ́ ibi àti máa pààyàn ibi àti máa pààyàn bẹ́ẹ̀ tí ẹ̀ ń fàṣì gan ẹ̀jẹ̀ kan ìbílẹ̀ ìbílẹ̀ tó ká jẹun because of the nature of the environment. The same way all our organisms in the soil they are very high in activity and they are feeding much. And so even though we have all these big plants that are changing their leaves and all that, the organisms consume them so fast such that there is no buildup of organic matter in the soil. So our organic matter level in the soil is very low. So that's a problem. Number 3, highly leached. Because of the bad clay type, because the organic matter that we have left is not high, therefore, any nutrient that we even add to the soil, we get lost. 10, 10, 15, 15, 17, 13, 14. Precise nutrient use efficiency. Nutrient use efficiency yẹn ni pé mélòó nínú nutrient ká dà sílẹ̀ yìí gan ni láti wá lò. At the end of the day, wọ́n á rí i pé wọ́n lè má lò ju ìdá ogún nínú ọgọ́rùn-ún. Wọ́n dẹ̀ wé ìṣòwò. That's what's happening. But in organic agriculture, àwa ti mọ̀ yìí pé ohun tá a ní láti ní pé torí principle méjì ni. Either you feed your crop without taking care of your soil, which is conventional. But the second philosophy is feed your soil so that your soil can feed your crop. And that's what we are doing in organic agriculture. You feed the soil. After the soil has got enough, the soil will release to your crop. So we do that. And that helps us to reduce leaching. Where there is no clay and all that leaching takes place, then low nutrient holding capacity actually increase leaching. Then low nutrient reserve because of low organic matter, low seed. Tabalo àwọn èdè tiwa ní múlò yẹn, èdè tiwa ní CAC, èdè tiwa ní. So tí àwọn ìbá ti lò, definitely nutrient náà lò bẹ́ẹ̀. Okay, good. So tábàbá sọ pé kí ni fertility náà sọ ìjọ kí la ní ìgbà fertility. Ṣé ilẹ̀ tó bí báyìí ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀ kọ́ tó ṣẹlẹ̀ ní pé kí crop wa tó kúrò ó ní ìdí nǹkan tá à ń pè ní So, here now, what I did is to just identify those elements. If I'm going to go technical, then I begin to do all that, mention them. Carbon, hydrogen, oxygen. We will make the bulk of plant parts. Those carbon, hydrogen, oxygen. Àti olókùn àdébọ̀ of carbohydrate tí yóò wà lára plant. Ṣùgbọ́n eléyìí táwa gangan nílò bẹ́ẹ̀ táwa pè ní yìí yẹn ọ́ táwa ti ní àwọn those elements nutrients that we need àwọn ẹ̀rọ ìjáde dáadáa fún wa. Wọ́n nílé plant nílé grow and so we have to make sure we take care of them. So next. Now, báwa ló wá ní lófin tiwọn làwọn náà lófin tiwa minimum. Now, plant yàtọ̀ sí èèyàn táwa tiwa tí ó bá di káràngídá a lè ṣe ṣúká jẹ láì tiẹ̀ sí ata tá a máa fi jẹ a dẹ̀ fi satisfy àbí bẹ́ẹ̀ kọ́ ṣùgbọ́n plant o gbogbo kìíní wọ̀nyẹn ló gbọ́dọ̀ wà bó ṣe yẹ kó wà kó pé tí kan bá ti miss the plant will not grow well. Once one of the nutrients is missing, the plant will not grow well. Look at this. This is to illustrate it. The yield that we are looking for is like the water inside this particular barrel. But this barrel is made up of roots or whatsoever. And they represent all that the plant needs to grow. Light, heat, microbial support, organic matter, then our nutrients were phosphorus, nitrogen, potassium, and other nutrients, then water and air. If any of them is missing or not in the adequate quantity, the plant will not be. Illustration of the fact that everything has to be taken care of, and incidentally, soil management for organic agriculture is such that it takes care of everything, not taking care of just like you say NPK, and then you put nitrogen, potassium, phosphorus, only the three, and then the rest of the nutrients not present in adequate quantity, and then the quality of the food becomes out no more. All right. So that takes me to the next one that I want to talk about here. Under that, the third one, the causes of soil nutrient depletion. This is the illustration that gives us why nutrients are lost. You see there, in the one that started there from the conventional, under the conventional system, fertilizer being added to the soil. Now, in organic agriculture too, we can add fertilizer to the soil. What did I say? Yes. The only difference is that while they are adding organic synthetic fertilizer to the soil, in the conventional system, we are adding organic fertilizer. Go as a runoff. If it is on a slope and you have the fertilizer there and rain falls within the next 3-4 days, what's going to happen? Especially if it's on the surface, it will just be carried away by erosion. That's the problem there. Now, another one is that àgbàrá lè gbà tó bá gbà lọ sí ìsàlẹ̀ ṣé mọ̀ pé almost all the time ibi inú valley odò lè máa bá bẹ̀ àbẹ́ẹ̀kọ́. So if it is a pond, the fertilizer will be deposited there. When the fertilizer is deposited in the water plants will begin to grow very well. When they grow, they will fill the whole side. So the whole surface of the water will be filled with water plant. And the quality of water will diminish. And the water will, in fact, the whole place will close up. That's what we call eutrophication. Ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ àwọn ibi tó dàbí orí ìrà yẹn nǹkan tó pọ̀ sí ẹ̀mí yẹn tó bá ṣe ní bí organic wọ́n practice ní gbogbo nǹkan yẹn kì bá ti ṣẹlẹ̀. So that is it. Then we see that nutrients may just go down, which we call leaching, may just go down there. Then there are some other things that will be happening, that the nutrients may get leached up because it cannot be retained, or nutrient may be transformed, it may be changed to another form, like nitrogen. Whenever we add nitrogen to the soil, the nitrogen will undergo what we call mineralization. It will be changed into nitrate that can be taken up by the plant. But if it is not taken up by the plant immediately, over a short period, it is going to be denitrified. It's going to turn into atmospheric nitrogen, which is NO2. NO2 yẹn tó bá ti gádà tó pọ̀, ó máa ń deplete ozone level lókè. Òun ló fi dé wípé more of the heat tó yẹ kó wà absorb lókè kó má reach wa, ó wá reach wa. When that one reaches us, more evaporation takes place, then rainfall comes in a very more heavy way, which will cause more damage. So it is a cycle, and those things will continue to happen if we don't manage the environment very, very well. So we can talk of leaching, erosion losses, denitrification, and precipitation, absorption, and all those things, fixation by the soil. Then I have to put it up in the phosphorus that are nutrients. So that way, those things are lost. Now, how do we circumvent? How do we prevent all this and then build up our soil, make our soil good and strong and better in organic agricultural system? Àwọn nǹkan tí a fẹ́ sọ̀rọ̀ lé lórí gan-an náà ni àwọn ọmọ yẹn. Meanwhile, before I go there, let's see if we ask questions. You have questions?
Yeah. So my question is I just want to know, when we talk about organic, we talk about all the input that we are going to put, like after we have planted, do this thing, use neem paste, use neem oil and stuff like that. So what I want to know, most of these seeds that we plant, we get them from abroad. Why they're being facilitated yesterday, we were told how they have been kind of taken away from our roots. These foreign people, they will come with seeds. They will say, they will give you seeds, they will give you trainings. That this is how you should do this thing. Of which those things, after they come to the level of harvest, they are going to be exported. Then they will bring in their stores from abroad, which are GMOs most of the time, which causes a lot of problem for us now. So my question is, so that we not debate, those seeds that we buy from all these agri people, are they GMO? Now, if I plant a seed now, and I now use organic input for the farming process, do I still classify those? Like now, I'm being sold, or I innocently bought a GMO seed, and I planted it, and then I now use organic inputs for farming process. Do I still classify that as organic?
Is anti-GMO. So if GMO is brought in, it's not brought in officially. You understand? We don't support GMO here in Nigeria. Even generally, not less of inorganic agriculture. Now again, I say that inorganic agriculture, as much as I know with our system here, because we follow largely that of UK Soil Association system, that GMO is not allowed. Now, all you need to know is, that's not my topic today, but all you need to know is how to identify what. If they bring to see, they didn't force it on me. You understand? Ṣebí àgbàdo ọ̀rí wà, kí la máa ń pè é lónìí? Local àgbàdo wa. Hello, gbogbo wa ti wá go to Ọba Super rí. All of us are now Suwan 2, Suwan 6. Ìgbà tẹ́lẹ̀ máa ṣe experiment mi ní 2005 ọ̀rí ni mo gbìn. Ọ̀rí, local àgbàdo, ó kú pollinated. Ṣẹ́ẹ̀rí alára ló máa ń gbára ga. Nǹkan tá a bá ní wọ́n dùn ju tòyìnbó lọ. Ẹ wo ṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ ṣọkọtà àṣọ ni ṣé ọkọ tí wá nígbà yìí ó dùn ju ilé tí wọ́n ti lọ hybrid wá fún wa ní ṣàmọ̀ pé ara wọn ni mí kò fẹ́ tẹ̀lé mi a máa ń breed a máa ń ṣe gbogbo ẹ̀ but then a sì mọ ilé tó dùn jù. It is what they are focusing on you. We are focusing on what? Quality. Do you understand? So if you plant GMO whatever, at the end of the day, will you call it organic? I want us to answer now. No. Say that has answered your question. Thank you very much. Number 2.
You mentioned some elements that are needed in the soil. How do we measure these elements? How do I know? Because I have a challenge with tomatoes, growing tomatoes and watermelon. I've tried so many times. My watermelon will start well, but it just fade off. My tomatoes will start well, and I grow cucumbers.
Sometimes when the fruit has come out like that, the underneath side will become like brown,
then it just, because watermelon, when you see it today it's like this. Tomorrow it's not going to be like this. It will be like this. And then the next day. And then maybe a day after, it will remain the same. So I know that it's dying. It won't just grow again. I don't know why. Maybe something is missing in my soil. Because I feed the soil with frass, like you said. I use nut soil. I use frass. I do organic fertilizer with the chickens. With the chicken poo. I do the 14 days where you see the tea.
Oh, okay, that tea.
The organic tea.
Yeah.
I cover it up for 14 days with water and molasses.
Yeah.
So what am I
Now,
doing? Why is my watermelon not growing?
If you didn't kill your poultry manure and you do the manure tea, you are still carrying some bacteria, some fungi. So when they now have opportunity to grow and multiply in the soil, they will kill the roots of the plant. That's why the plant will wait. It's the pathogen. So you need to cure. Yes, cure that. You know how to cure. Maybe we still talk about that later. So you do that. Then for your tomato, when the thing has fruit already and is big, and the head just turn green like this, and it's because of calcium. I think that's what to make you remember. So that's because of calcium deficiency. When we go technical in our definition, we will say that without that element, the plant will not be able to complete either one or both phases of its growth. Like I was saying, there are a lot of misconceptions about organic agriculture. So people think that soil testing has to do only with conventional agriculture. No, in organic agriculture we do soil testing. I remember Mr. Asai was saying that you can use this three in one to measure pH. pH is one of those factors. There are so many of them. We do soil testing. Sometimes we take the samples, we take to the laboratory, we do the chemical soil testing. Then sometimes again we tell the what we call them, the soil protectionist, pathology. So they look at what is that is causing the disease there. Sometimes it may be nematologists. Our town study about nematode. Because sometimes it may be nematode that attack the roots and destroy the root and make the plant to die and wither like that. Yes.
Becoming rampant and is infiltrating into the agric sector here in Nigeria. So if you can find some things to identify the seed. So when we see those, we say, no, this one is not there. So features of that seed to let us know that they're not heritage or heirloom seed, but they're GMO.
Listen, you may go online and check. There are numbers that they place on them that you know that this means it is GMO. If I'm able to check our our WhatsApp platform for WAPT, it's likely I saw something like that sometimes ago, that if you see this number, it means that this is GMO and all that, so that we educate ourselves with it and be able to calm ourselves and identify and avoid it if there is actually.
I thought you will answer it along the line with what she has just asked. The only thing I observe about farming these days is that it's like everything we are using before we wipe away. By cross-section, maybe through the introduction of several seeds, maybe when it is being planted on a particular land, in that case, it's just like being a Gashimanshi, putting more several selection from other crops. Like we are referring to GMO now, or whether the normal crops that we usually plant. Then, if the corn is being roasted around you, the Baba and easily you can easily person, I eat in here. But these days, hardly will you look as if they were anymore. Even the taste is nothing to write home about. Without meat, without anything, you are good to go with anything that are making it with. But these days, I don't say that, come and you will still not get the actual taste you expect from garbage. Where am I going? Is there any house or any store that we can be getting all these seeds, organic seeds, so that way as when now you have told us that our lunch should be well prepared, yes, we have known, so that there will be no constriction of either the organic and the confectionery seeds. As once again, get your land treated, so that there will be nothing of such.
Yeah, actually, the cities like the produce. If you go to, I don't know, I've not been asking in all these big supermarkets. In supermarkets that I know abroad, they have sections for organic, sections for conventional. And in every product in state here, this organic, they have numbers, they will put the number they are organic, that people get familiar with that this is organic product. So the same thing should be for the seed also. But you know that generally, people will be looking for cheaper things and all the rest. And of course, at the other people, I remember sometimes, yes, it's in UK there. Were there, and then they said that 2 million dogs were destroyed because of infection. And somebody intervened and said, how about the package here? How about Nigeria? So that kind of problem is there, you understand? But like I said at the beginning, this is revolution. You understand? It's revolution, organic revolution, in which we sensitize ourselves to the reality around us and make up our mind that we want to go for the best.
Right, I thought I was telling you, this men, yeah. I was trying to see men, young men, young women. I'm shocking. You go, women, men, all that. I said, what happened? Where? But that means our youth, they're not ready to play from. You can't tell people to live the state. I am the state. I want to the state. I do other things like this. But I discovered that in the state, the soil, during this period of rainy season, is very good. Here it is state. You know, state, you cannot do irrigation. You know, as a farmer, at least you must be active in every season, whether it's dry season, whether it's rainy season, whether it's summer season. I want to say, you measure to have a farm. And there are some plants you also plant in the state. So, whatever you plant, it won't grow well. No matter the fertilizer you apply, like me, I'm only trying to export some fruits in South Africa, whatever is going on, trying to do. That's why you guys are the same thing. Depends on the soil also. Okay? Let me give you an example. You know, we say, the soil is useful. And ground is exposed. Because plant, you know, you must have a federal plant. Like some people say, during dry season, when it's approaching, you see the cassava is set into the winter, people get dry. You see all the tree is like in the north, the one in the north. Everything is dry. You plant palm tree. If you plant it, you are not careful. If you plant it, you can get well. Plant it during August, September, and you know actually put it well before the press and pump will survive. Public machine, no machine, no one will survive. Because during dry season, there was no way. I tried to apply my own method of irrigation, and so that any water you pump there run straight down, faster than the one at the root of the water plant. You know, because I want to throw more light on the soil, on their heads, here and there. These are my irrigation. This is still most of them there are not in the east. If it is the east, you can take the relation. But the water is soil there, you take the water. Yes, it is soil. In here, I've got the result of the soil in here. After the little plant soil, get where the stone is, after the stone get the shaft. After the shaft is rocking, and it's a problem. I want to also say something about that. Also, marketing is also a problem. Because all the fun happening in the state, none of them is close to the civilized states. They are all in far distance. They take down no inside the forest. And before you break the tap, you have to know, growing. In this country, God will help us to have a good president. And the president has to do nothing. If the body that has the president, the president has to do nothing, that will go move. It will not move and reach.
Like you are saying, we should cooperate together. But what some of these banks did was that they brought us together. Like Access Bank has Women Premier. It's online, mainly. It's only when they want to train that they come. But we have a marketplace online where you can post your product. There's a we have particular days that we can post our products. If you want, there are shippers amongst us that handle shipping for us within the group. And then ITC, also I belong to ITC Women. We have She Trades, I'm a member. They are organizing a training. It's going to be funded by DHL. They nominated people. I'm going to attend that training. DHL ships for us at a discount, at a very good discount. So it solves all the problem of whether you want to be my friend or you don't want to be my friend, whether you want to do together. We still do together, we meet together, but it's not compulsory for you to be anybody's friend or anybody's sister. But you shouldn't have, like we are saying, we shouldn't have anything against anybody. I'm here today, I have nothing against anybody. If you want anything from me, I will tell you freely. The one I want to tell you, I don't have anything. So if you look at me anyhow, I'm not even thinking about that.
For plant to grow on it, while the plant is growing, it's sharing its leaf, the leaf is decomposing and becoming soil organic matter, and so the nutrient is being recycled. So in those days, that's what my parents use, and they can do following up to 10 years, but little by little, because of constraint of land, you can do it in short fallow. In a short fallow, it can be such that you leave it to natural bush to grow, or you plant some other things to it on that land, especially the new plants. Now, some of the plants that we can use are Promolina. How many of us know Promolina? Siamwi, Agolawo, Akitala. And Akitala is a brother. We don't get Guru for it. Baba don't pay one at the Siam, not the country, you know. Not pay one. Fertilizing the gone. In the first rain, you know they will tell you not to plant, have you? Slash. And leave those things there. Let them be decaying and have a plant. So when they decay, when you now come back, they decay very well. A little second slacking like this, you'll be able to do your farming without destroying your organic material. What of Victoria? You can buy Victoria, you do go and fly around to get so it's also very good. Area, don't tell me really, don't take really alone. I think so for one in the IT, I'm not going to have IT that is how to see what I do. Let's get it right. So we can make use of them. When we have some plants that we can also use as intercropping, all this has to cover the soil from erosion. Some people can even use materials that are not plants to do their system. That does not make your farmland to be organic. You understand? Does not make your farmland to be organic. In fact, weed control means right on farm. That is a practical between the barriers. I'm a so we will just join it with our leader and fire the one we just put it on top. It will just touch the plant. It won't really hit the soil, and the plant will just die back. And that one takes care of section farm and divide it into 4 sections. That's called the rotation. Then we list 4 crops that we want to involve in that 4 rotation. Now I want you to do it practically. After that, I will now be making corrections and how it will help us in reality. Ugu, potato and maize. Plantain, potato and maize. Now, let's look at your own. Does your own fit into crop rotation? The answer is no. Because banana takes longer time to mature than other crops. So there should be crops that are annual, that takes almost the same length of time to
row for 1 week.
plantain.
I will leave it another week. So I always have plantain all year round.
All right, that is another. You know, we have many systems. Are you getting me? We have many systems. So within here, your own will fall within one of them now. You understand? Plantain. Then another row of plantain. In between, you are still going to plant some other things. Exactly. This one, you planted this one, that's for next month. So that you will always have banana all year. Very good. But in the case of you move from this particular land, piece of it, to another field, and we want to rotate your crop within those 4 quadrants, it must be crops that their lifespan, their period of production are always around the same level. You understand that? So it is another system that will fit into what you are talking about. Your own multi-story cropping. Do you understand? Okay? And then somebody also to give us another cassava, vegetables, and pepper. Yeah, whatever. But actually, it's good to be specific. It's good to be what? Specific. Now, Sedosia, it's just 4 months. Isn't it? Choco and the other one, 1 month. Now, it will not fit into the crop like the one that will take 3 months, 6 months, or whatsoever. So it must be around. Any other one, crops that are almost always needing the same thing that you are cropping. If you are cropping the same thing, the way it should be arranged is such that the crop that is in this particular place this time around, they are crops that their roots do not go deep into the soil. Followed by the one that their roots go deep to the soil. So the nutrient that this one has not used at this time that has reached down, the one that their roots go deep, you take it up. Now this one that needs nitrogen too much, like this needs a lot of nitrogen. That one, you follow it with another one that will bring nitrogen. But none of you is planting any of such legume crops. Suppose you plant groundnut, and melon is not a legume anyway. Watermelon is not a legume. It's not a nut. Yes? Beans, potili, they are, those are, now let me show you the secret. Those they are flower. Their flower is like better like this. One hand like this, one hand like this. And then they are, this, because they do like this. They have, when you see plants with flower like that, they are legumes. You understand? Or you can take the flower of this cowpea, take it and use it to look at flowers of other plants in your farm. Even for short value, you can use that system to get it. Those ones that you know they are pots, we call them pots. They have pots like this that are open, that you open and then the seed comes out. Those are the good. So you must have one of them in your rotation, which you will always You understand? In your own case there. The only thing you need to observe in your own case is that does this one harbor nematodes or some other pest that will become a problem in the next crop that is coming. So that's what you take into consideration. Yes. If it doesn't harbor problem for the other one, then you can easily follow each other.
Now I want to introduce carrots and beetroots.
And beetroots, yes. Carrots and beetroots, they need potassium. You understand? So from his waste. Yes. Yes. I hope I got it on crop rotation now.
Yes.
Alright. So which other one? Next one there. Crop residue management. In fact, crop residue management still goes with what I've just discussed with you now. There are some crops that what you have as your need is small. The other one that return as residue is large. So you must manage them properly. And that's part of what takes us into how we can use them to make fertilizers in our farm. And then we'll be able to do well. So other ones is mulching. We can do mulching like
Even if you soak all these banana plants on the inside water,
yes.
then you use it to wet your farm.
So yes. By the time you have your problem, you'll be able to share from there. Share it. Video is a video. Go to the number 5 wa ní ìkànnì ṣáláàdì bá. What I want to buy, number 4 wa ní ìkànnì àdìgbà. So ilé ayé ta dẹ̀ wáyé ojú ọ̀run. Bẹ́ẹ̀ni, so gbogbo wa, so that has to be that kind of mindset. What you have, you share. For other people, that way, we will all be able to make progress together. So, mulching, gbogbo pàpà pẹ̀lẹ́ náà máa ń gbé àbí. Punch tẹ̀lá ti tọ́ kìnìún tó lórí ní bọ́ọ̀dì ẹ̀yẹ. Hello. Now, you know that the most part of the banana is waste, but it's rich in potassium. So you use it. And for your crop, next crop that needs potassium, let me tell you this way. All your tuber crops, they need potassium. Yam, cassava, your carrots, your sweet potato, they need cocoyam. That's why it's cocoyam. The bank will land on that's so you make sure that you use those things to help the other one. Okay? Lemon grass, don't pay guinea grass. Oh, no, yes. Go on there, I come back and say, I want to show them. You can use it for the compost we want to talk about. You can use it rich in potassium, and you can use it for your farm. Alright. Okay, there is green manure in also. Green manure. Now, tell us, green manure. I'm we can green this thing, planting these leguminous plants like Mucuna, Picaderia, Lapland, and all the rest of them like that. Then when they have grown to some level, we now found them back into the soil. If your farm is small and you are not using tractor in your farm, it may be a lot of work, isn't it? But it can still be worthwhile. Now, all you can do before you do all the heaps and all the beds, just cut it, let it rot back into the soil for some time. Then let it get dry, rot it, and then you till it in. Okay? That way, the decomposition is taking place and you release nutrients for your crop. But if you are doing large scale and you can use tractor to do the plowing and all that, plow it now, let it grow. Throw the crop, the plant there. It may not be economic one, not like what you want to harvest. So just throw it there, let it go for some time. Then run your tractor again and plow it in. By the time you plow it in and ṣe pé ẹgbẹ́ ẹ̀yìn máa ń dá owó ti tèmi fún research. Láti 2005 di bá a ṣe sọ yìí, ọdọọdún náà fi ń fi iṣu ẹ̀ tó ti kú báyìí ó tún ti fẹ́ máa yí ìjọba tó máa di ọkọ̀ sí September sí wọ́n tó máa harvest ọdọọdún ni. Simple way of managing it is when they have harvested, the plant grow. When it is the beginning of the thing again, they plow it in, and they do the same way they don't make me about it. They plow it in, just scream and run it. You do the work, do it again. Then farmyard manure. Yes. They don't even plant anything. They allow all this panicum. Panicum to grow. So you know, I said it's rich in potassium, and potassium is very important for that. Yeah. So I said farmyard manure. When you get your manure, hello, what do you remember? So shall we stop here? Mangrove forest. You said that area of forest, swampy area. Swampy area is what I call Padama. It's during dry season you use it for dry season farming. That's what you use it for. You understand? And then you don't bring any kind of slurry here because the slurry will cover the pores, and there will be no opportunity for soil organisms to breathe. You understand? And so that will make the nutrients not to be in the water. So you can use other materials, like